and empires fall. In the spice I hear them call. Through betrayal and through faith I will carve my path. Embrace my fate. Sands of Arrakis, call my name. In your endless ways I'll stake my claim. Destiny's thread weaves through time and space. Among the triumphs I now erase. The triumphs I now embrace. Among the grace. Oh, sands of Arrakis, call my name. In your endless ways I'll stake my claim. Destiny's thread weaves through time and space. Among the tribes I now embrace. Oh, Shanu beneath the sands. Ancient power in your hands. Rivers dry where prophecies flow. In the darkness, let my courage show. Oh, oceans buried deep within. Sands must flow where life begins. Voices from the past will guide us. Nowhere to hide.
All right. Good evening, everyone. We got ourselves an interesting show. We're going to start off with a little bit of Dune 3 news tonight. Going to get into this, get a couple people in here. I think I got all my stuff working normal tonight, finally, for once. I believe. My sound, I had to rebuild all my OBS, so. Which I found I didn't have to. Let's see here. What is going on out today? We got Techno Lab up in here already. We got a couple of people. We just started. We just started. Haven't even gone into anything yet. Yep, sound, everything I think is coming through perfect tonight, guys. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Welcome to the stream. We're getting into some. It's gonna get into some. Don't really know. I think this is my first kind of a. I think I did last Friday, but this is my first official Friday that I've done. It's Fridays and Saturdays now. I'm moving closer to the game coming out. So I'm doing more streams. I gotta get my mind like disciplined into streaming, because once the game comes out, I'm gonna have to stream a lot more. It's gonna be like a second job. I'm trying to make it like a second job. House Erebus. Prophecy. Yeah, you know, I hadn't really seen any news on next production for the next season of Dune Prophecy. I know they greenlit it, but I hadn't really seen. Yeah, I haven't seen any news on when they're going to start taping or filming, or I wonder if they're going to. Usually, I'm assuming they'll get a little bit bigger budget. Maybe we'll look into that tonight. Yeah, I want to know what the actual numbers on that show was, because if it must have been somewhat high if it got greenlit. Because this day and age, shows are getting canceled left and right if they don't perform. So it must have had just enough hype on it to, you know, it seemed like a lot of people didn't like that show. I heard a lot of people didn't like that show, and it's every time I've seen, I liked it. I think it needed a little more bit of Dune in it, which they had it right at the end. I think that's kind of where they kind of maybe. So I think the next season, they're gonna have more stuff on Dune, and then in the books, you know, even in the Balerian Jihad books and in the you know, the what do you call it, the Great Schools books we want to call them. There's a lot more Dune in those as well than even in that show. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to. I get it. They're trying to set the. They really rush through the backstory flashbacks too of Valia and her sister and Tula, because there's a lot more stuff going on behind the scenes in their past when they were younger that they just kind of in the books they kind of breezed over. So yeah, like basically how she kills Ori on Caladan during the Atreides hunt. You know, she infiltrated the Atreides family to murder him, and that happens in the book, but in the you know, but it's a lot more intricate, and it's not as she doesn't murder him on the hunt. She murders him on their wedding night. I've talked about this before. And she like tries. Vorian's there too, so Vorian gets wind of it. He's like, "Wait a minute, that girl." He recognized her or something, or the name or something like that. I can't remember in the book exactly how it goes down, but Vorian's there. Vorian Atreides comes back to Caladan to try to make amends for abandoning the family from 80 years before or whatnot. And then he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna do right by the Atreides family now. The son, the great grandson, all this stuff, like." So he's like helping the family out at this point. So they know who he is. And then they're, you know, the Harkonnen and Tula want to kill him, of course. But then they didn't know he was there at the time. She just wants to get revenge on Atreides at this point. So, you know, she sent her there to do the... So the part where she kind of falls in love with him still and all that and all that kind of thing, has the kid, that's all still there. That all happens in the book too. She didn't want to kill Ori, really. She's basically bullied around by frickin' Valia. Kind of pressured into doing all that. She's got the guilt. She's got her kind of, you know, locked around her finger. It's similar to the show. So overall, the baseline setup is the same. Valia is using the Bene Gesserit for her own revenge, her own personal gain, and then that's what she's doing. I know they kind of show that in the show, but that I don't think they emphasize that enough in the show. She's doing it for her own personal gain, to get revenge and all that kind of stuff, and for the house and House Harkonnen. And then they should have maybe harped on a little bit more on that, but. Maybe it's going to come down to that in the end of this. You know, maybe that's how they'll end the show, with like Tula taking her out. Like, hey, maybe Tula's going to realize she was. Maybe that's how they'll end the series, with Tula killing her or something, realizing she was doing it all for herself the whole time. Anyways, I don't know. I'm guessing. That'd be a good way to do it, I guess. And then Tula kind of starting what the Bene Gesserit will be. Because she's kind of good, you know. Tula's actually got kind of somewhat of a pure heart in the show. They show that in the show. She's more good than Valia. Valia is just self-centered and basically just wants to do it for her own gain. She says she cares about the sister, but she really doesn't. She doesn't care about him at all. She just wants to use it as for herself, and it shows that a lot more in the books. And because Tula's very similar to how she is in the show. They did a good job on that. That she's just like in the book. She's like, you know, she doesn't want to get rid of the kid and all. It doesn't show that, and so that scene was not in the book. You know, we had the flashback in there where she's kind of sneaking the kid off. That doesn't happen in the book. You don't see that. The book just kind of ends, and you don't know what happens. The last book. It ends with freaking. So at the end of, it's Navigators of Dune, right? That's the last one. At the end of there's Sisterhood of Dune, Mentats Dune, and Navigators of Dune. So Navigators Dune is the last one. ends. And I read these recently, not that long ago. Make sure I get my information right here. Get my mind, set my mind in motion here, guys. What the hell is going on? My Google, everything's been acting weird the last couple weeks with my Google searching and my everything. Stuff that used to come up as results doesn't no longer comes up. And like all this weird stuff. Yeah, so right now I'm reading in the middle of House Atreides, which is basically the 10,000 year jump. So Navigators of Dune ends, and at Navigators Dune ends, basically 30 years or so before the events of Dune Prophecy, the show. About, I don't, because it's not directly, it's not specifically directly correlated. I just kind of guessed that. And then yeah, so when you see in Dune Prophecy the flashbacks when Valia slits freaking Dorothea's throat and all that kind of stuff in the beginning, those scenes happen in the books. That's actually straight from the books. She uses the voice on her and all that because she's keeping the voice secret and all that's just so that kind of show. That's true. That's right out of the books. She keeps the voice a secret and all that stuff. So they did a pretty good job of adapting those books, I think, even though there is a lot of stuff left out. She does kill Dorothea. Dorothea is, yeah, she's the same way. She's trying to freaking ruin everything, ruin the computer, because they're secretly using those computers just like in the show. That's all in there, supercomputers. The book's very good. Because they're still listening to me or not. But anyway, yeah. So the Navigators of Dune ends with Vorian Atreides faking his death, going into hiding. The Emperor, which was in the show, freaking dude, my brain's getting loose on this already. Their dad. So it's what's the Emperor's name in the show Prophecy? He offs himself. That guy's dad is the Emperor at the end of the book. So then he basically he wipes out the Butlerians. Essentially, he takes out Joseph Venport, and then the Venport guys, and then Erasmus, the last thinking machine who was hiding out with the Venport guys. Or he was actually hiding out on that other planet, Denali, I believe. I think it's a poison planet. And he's in love with the sister of the princess, which is the aunt. So theoretically, it's the aunt of I can't think of his name. Constantine? No, Constantine's the son. Someone tell me quick. What's Mark Strong's? Javico. I didn't even have to look it up, guys. Javico. So Javico's dad was emperor at the end of Navigators Dune the book. Then his aunt, technically, the princess, she gets her mind jacked up in those books by she takes the poison because she gets sent away to become a sister early on, and then she sneaks poison and then takes it when she's not supposed to, and then it kind of like fries her brain with like the Bene Gesserit, whatever you want to call it, sisterhood voices in her head. But then they send her to the Mentat planet, which is then where to get help from. They don't know at the time he's basically the son of Erasmus, the human son, the first Mentat, which was I'm a little rusty. I've been focusing so much on Dune I've been focusing so much on Dune Awakening this last pretty much the whole year that I'm brain farting a lot of my lore now, but I have to look it up. But their aunt, Javico's aunt, so Javico, Mark Strong, and his aunt, which he was probably a little kid, she falls in love with the AI, but she doesn't really know it. She does know it eventually. They put his robot brain into like basically a Thalaxu body, like a clone, kind of a Gola body in a weird way. And so he's walking around with a human body, kind of looking, but he still has an AI Erasmus brain. So he's all basically, still an asshole. But he's in love with the princess. Well, at the end, she thinks that, oh, he'll never love me because he's just a robot still. So she walks out into the poison gas out of the airlock when the planet's getting invaded. And then Erasmus is like, oh, she's so silly. All this kind of writing her off. Why did she run off like that? And then at the end, the last like couple minutes of their scene together, their scenes, he's like realizes, oh, I feel emotions now. So he's like Data. He gets emotions right at the end, runs out to her to try and save her, and then freaking he dies trying to save her out of the airlock too. But they both melt because it's like acidic air out there in that planet. So the last of the thinking machines are pretty much the advanced ones are wiped out, but he dies, and then that's Javico's aunt, whatever, she dies too. Anna, that's her name, Anna Karina. And that was kind of a useless plot point in the books. It didn't really go anywhere. It was kind of strange. I thought what was going to happen was that what I thought was going to happen when I was reading those books was that Erasmus was going to knock her up, and she was going to have like a hybrid AI thinking machine human kid, and then he was going to get killed or something, and she was going to get rescued, and then later have this like basically this. I thought they were going to do something like that, where it was going to be basically the royal bloodline was going to get mixed with the thinking machine kind of DNA, so to speak, or something like that. But they didn't do that. That would have made more sense to me, but that would have been kind of cooler to throw that in there. But they didn't do that. They just killed him. Which was the whole thing was the whole side plot of them through the 3 books was kind of stupid, right? It was a waste of time. I think it would have been cooler if she would have got pregnant by Erasmus and his human body got kind of hybridized baby, and then kill him off still. But she would have got rescued because they were trying to rescue her. The brother, the brother was trying to rescue her with the fleet. They're assaulting the planet with a fleet. And then yeah, it was pretty cool. Those fleets are. He does 2 things. He gets rid of Venport, who's holding the monopoly on space holding ships. There's like a 3-way civil war going on in these books. And then the Valerians. So they have like the Emperor uses basically he has a hidden fleet he rescues. See, this is where I thought that this guy was going to be this fleet commander he had. I thought he was going to be like the dad of what's his face in Dune Prophecy, but that didn't turn out to be. He's Atreides. What's his face? He's half Atreides, half Harkonnen. Desmond. So yeah. Let's get in some of this news. Man, not a whole activity on the chat, guys. What's going on? What's going on out there tonight, guys? Anything crazy? We'll talk about some of this Dune 3 news real quick, and then we're going to get into some of the... we're going to go recap what's going on with Dune Awakening, the game. Getting close. Man, they need to hurry up. They have not announced the... They have not announced the open beta weekend yet, which I'm guessing is going to be mid-May, maybe. So Damone Kim guy, his channel, he's thinking mid-May, second week of May. Maybe that makes sense. That would give them time to fix any bugs they find. So we'll see what happens with that. That game's looking okay. I there's a lot of Obviously, there was bugs if they delayed it, but everything. Well, I'll talk more next week, guys. We'll see here. We'll be able to talk more about this. We'll be able to talk more about this next Friday. So what are we? We worked. Yes, that's beautiful, guys. That's awesome. All I'm gonna say is we'll be able to talk more about the game next Friday. I'll tell you that. Which is cool. I'm off that day. It works out perfectly. But obviously if they're working on, if they delayed it, there was issues, right? Server stuff, bugs. So I mean that's pretty obvious, which is good. They need to work out some issues on as much as they can. Now the only thing I'm worried about too is if they can't get it done in time. If they can't get the big bugs fixed in time, it is gonna affect the game. And if they launch it still, are they gonna delay it again? It's always a possibility, right, that they delay the game again. So hey, it looks like my chat boxes are actually working correctly now. They're staying up. I had a chat there, guys. You guys can see it. Let's see what TikTok's looking like right now. I don't know if anybody's on it. Let's see what's going on TikTok here. Let's see what we got going on the TikTok. The TikTok. Got one. I never get any viewers on TikTok. It's kind of a waste of time at this point. Maybe when the game kicks off, if I don't put enough videos, that's the problem. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to do all the social media now. On the side, put videos to every platform. I gotta see if there's some sort of like website service that like you can put a video up and it automatically just pushes it out to like TikTok and Instagram or whatever off for you. Like there's got to be something. They have things that do some of that, but not all of it, you know? Oh, we got a couple of people watching now. Alrighty, so Dune 3. So Dune Part 3 will begin filming sooner than you might think. So rumors are it's going to start filming in July, I think they said, right? So let's see what they say here. Florence Pugh just revealed Dune Part 3's filming window this summer. Oops, did she leak something? This is the first time that news has been confirmed by an active member of production. Principal photography will finish before the end of the year. Screen Rant's Ryan Northrop notes that fans might get a sneak peek of the film in 2025, as actors may share set photos if allowed. Oh, Screen Rant's Ryan notes that the fans may get a sneak peek of the film in 2025. We might get a teaser trailer. Oh, that'd be awesome, dude. I was thinking they would do a sneak peek with the when Tron comes out, but I think they, maybe they'll have like a Dune teaser trailer for that when Tron Ares come out. Well, that movie looks awesome, actually. That's the only movie I'm excited about this year is the Tron, which like I said before, I always crap on Disney, but that movie, the trailer looked really good. Oh, dude. Before we get into this real quick, that Fantastic Four trailer looks horrible to me. Looks bland. Man, I am just not excited about that. And the Superman just doesn't really do nothing for me either. Like the sound, this music in the trailer seemed generic or something. In the Superman trailer. Yeah, I don't like the that Fantastic Four. It's just they always suck. Those Fantastic Four movies always suck. All of them have all sucked. The old ones, that remake one, dude, that remake one was horrible with Michael B. Jordan and those guys. That one's garbage. I just don't care about Fantastic Four. I think they're never good. That's my personal opinion, guys. That new one looks lame. And then Marvel in general, to me now, I'm just not even interested at all no more. Yeah, Star Wars, I'm not really interested in anymore. Star Trek, I love out of all those, Star Trek's still my favorite, but then I'm just like, what are they doing with that franchise? That sucked. Strange New Worlds is pretty lame. Strange New Worlds took way too many liberties with the lore. Like, they have the Khan first security officer, she's a Khan. It's like, dude, they didn't know about these people before. Like, when they find Khan in the old season, I don't know, they just do too much twisting with the lore on Star Trek. Oh yeah, that's Silver Surfer, the Silver Surfer, why didn't they make her look better? The CGI looks horrible. I get it. The comics, there's a female Silver Surfer. That's fine, but the CGI of it looks horrible. And her model of it, it's like she's like a, I don't know. It just doesn't look good. Yeah, I'm totally not interested in that movie. I'm probably not gonna even go watch it. Maybe I'll go watch Superman because the super dog. But that they showed another trailer of it, and he has like robots in there working for him and stuff in his Fortress of Solitude. That's kind of weird to me. I don't know why. It just seemed weird. I don't know why. It's just, I don't know. It's the Superman that I didn't looks weird as well, dude, guys. I don't know. I guess I just expect more now from. You know, a movie I watched recently that was pretty good, The Wolfman. It was one of these horror movies that's out, the newer one, where like the family's trying to go to the family home in the woods, and then he gets bit by the werewolf, but then he starts turning into one, and they have the wife and the daughter have to like kind of try to get away from him as their dad is. That was a pretty good movie. Yeah, let's get back to this story real quick. But finish this article. Let's see here. No one has confirmed the location of Part 3 sets, but previously shooting locations for the franchise have been in Hungary, Jordan, Abu Dhabi, according to Denny. Yeah, they don't make big budget movies in the US no more. They just don't do it anymore. It's too much regulation, too expensive. Isn't that crazy? They just made that war movie Warfare in England, not in the US. A movie about United States military. They didn't even make it in America. That's why there was British vehicles in the movie, by the way. That's why they had British vehicles instead of frickin' Bradleys. Man, that movie is good, too. Except for the stupid fake Bradleys. It takes you out of the movie. It really takes me out of the movie. I don't know why they just didn't film it in America and got some... Bradleys are diesel engines, dude. They can't be that expensive to get some National Guard unit to show up for afternoon and drive them around. You can get some privates and a freaking... And like some National Guard guys to freaking drive some Bradleys down the set. It was retarded. Because they're like, the Brads are coming in. All right, we got 5 mics. The Brads are rolling in. Get our guys medevac and all this stuff. And then these stupid looking FV-432s show up with some stupid looking Fox turrets on them. And I'm like, oh my, what the hell are those things? I looked into it. I researched the vehicle ID. That's my thing. I have my Jane's book too, and I was like, what the hell is that thing? And I was, oh, FV-42. Wait, but it has a weird turret on it. And then they actually make, that's actually a version that the British made for training. It was like a training vehicle for, I don't know what for. I think it's meant for like their version. You know how we had our mock-ups for like Op4? I think it's like their version of that or something like that, like for the training like that. They got them on loan. Yeah, the Warfare movie is pretty good. Except the streets are not dirty enough. It's too clean for Iraq in that movie. That's disgusting over there. I don't think people realize the country is disgusting. Most of the world is actually, I actually like that. Yeah, so the streets are just like flat, like nice and dirt and clean. There's no trash out on the streets. Like, yeah, no. There's a whole village in Baghdad that's literally a trash pit that people live in, and they walk around barefoot in. They live in it. The houses are made of trash. Let's see here. Probably looks better than LA though. Let's see here. The movie's release date hasn't been officially announced. Last year, Warner Brothers and Legendary showed a December 2026 slot of their calendar for Denny Villeneuve's event film. There was some buzz about it for being Dune Part 3, but, however, it is filming this summer. It's unlikely that it'll be ready for release by December 2020. Yeah, I don't know about all that movie. I don't think that movie's gonna come out till like spring 27 probably. Yeah, I don't think Dune 3 is coming out next December. If they're not filming till July. Yeah, unless they're already doing massive pre-production right now, we just don't know about it. But Denis Villeneuve runs a tight ship of production. They have everything planned out, mapped out. Everything's pre-shot. They figure out all their shots before they turn them into CGI. They figure out everything. I've watched the making of Dune Part 2. They use all of this technology to pre-plan everything. They use a Unity engine and all this other stuff to like get the actual times of day. Like say they're filming in Abu Dhabi, they can pre-render the shot because they know where the sun will be at a certain time of day over there in the future. So they can actually set the logistics up. They have the set out there at whatever time of day. They have the shooting in and out. Like they'll know exactly what the angle of the sun will be ahead of time based on all the data that they pump into these computers. And so they build their entire schedule for filming out ahead of time because they already know. It's very cool to watch that documentary. It's like better planned than like military operations. But so yeah, maybe they can pull it off. I mean, I think that they already have music made. I'm pretty sure that Hans Zimmer already started working on music for that Part 3, probably. It's just so he can make fresh music, awesome badass music, just so he can get snubbed at the Oscars again. Because Dune 3 will get snubbed again. It'll probably be an awesome movie, and it'll get snubbed at the award season again, just like the Dune 2 did. That's fine. That was the best picture of the year, by the way. That was picture and best acting. Dune 2 was, yep. Let's see here. No one's gonna tell me otherwise. Let's see. So originally, Villeneuve said I thought after Dune Part 2 that I would take a break, that I'd go back in the woods and stay in the woods for a while to recover, but the woods weren't really suiting me. And I go back behind the camera fast, and I think, AKA, they threw a freaking crap ton of money at him. Dude, they probably said, we'll give you name your price, and we'll give it to you. And he probably was like, I want $50 million to make this movie. Sold. I mean, I don't know how much they make, directors. Or he wants freaking like profits of the profit share or something. And they're like, good, sold, get it out. Because these are the only movies making us money right now. These are your Dune movies. They have longevity that sells digital. So that's the thing. They make Dune broke records on Dune Part 2, I think broke digital sales records too last year. So that's another thing that they're looking at is DVD sales are dead, right? That's a dead market now. Everything's digital, download now. Blu-rays, you don't see them in stores no more, even though I buy the Blu-rays. Dune Part 2 spiked that stuff again. when it came out on digital. So I don't know what the numbers are, the sales numbers on after the movie, but it made 714 million, 740 million in the box office, which on a 150 budget, it was like basically it was a highly profitable movie for them. But then I think it made a crap ton of digital sales after that too, more than other stuff does. So I mean, the movie's awesome. I mean, it had a little bit of wokey stuff in it, but I still liked it. They kind of ruined Chani a little bit. That was like the biggest gripe of the movie. And they could turn around and try to fix it in the new one, but I don't know if they're gonna do that. I don't really know how they're gonna go about this movie. I'm hoping that since I don't know, we'll see what happens. Hopefully the first like 20 minutes of the movie is like the jihad, like a battle scene, like them taking a planet. That'd be pretty cool. They could do some stuff from Paul of Dune, the book. Some Brian Herbert stuff. Like when they assault Kaitain or whatever, because there's a resistance on it. Are they gonna do that? I don't think it was Kaitain. There's another planet they land on with Gurney. Gurney's like working with, he's with the Fremen military now. And then he's like, don't murder the freaking women and kids that are surrendering. And the Fremen are like, nah, we're killing everybody. And then one of the Fremen starts murdering this random people trying to surrender. This is out of a book, by the way, Paul of Dune. And Gurney's like, I'm in charge here. You follow my orders, and he kills the Fremen in front of all the other guys. Because Gurney's like, dude, these guys are slaughtering all the people surrendering. They're trying to surrender. Like you can't just. The Fremen go crazy, dude. Bloodlust during the jihad. Those book shows. I wonder if they'll show some of that. See, you're told it's taking forever to get through this. Didn't come with a sequel. Oh, hey, how come the original movie come out with a sequel that would have been cool? You talking about the original Dune? The one in the 84? The old Dune? The original Dune movie? Is that the one you're talking about? If you're talking about the old original Dune, that movie flopped. That's why I didn't get any sequel. It totally flopped in theaters and when it came out in like 84. I think they were gonna I think they were gonna do Dune Messiah. I think they were planning on doing more. They thought it was gonna be the next Star Wars. They were gonna make more movies of it. I think originally David Lynch, and them, or I don't know if it was gonna be him, but that movie totally flopped in theaters. I think it was considered like a complete box office bomb. Let's look that up. Even though the movie is like popular now. Oh yeah, a complete bomb. Let's see here. This movie totally bombed. Let's look at it here. I got pulled it up right here, guys. Original Dune, 1984. Dude, look at this. So already it's domestic, just universal domestic opening. So it made $6 million. The budget was $40 million on that movie, by the way, in 1984. So it's an expensive movie. Domestic was 31. International made $56,000 international. Holy crap. Only made 31, so it totally flopped. It was shy like 9 million of just even breaking even, so it made no money. It made negative money. Wow. Dude, I made $1,000 in New Zealand. What? Wonder. That sucks. That movie's better than that. I think they probably just marketed it badly. I mean, it's very weird at the time, right? It was at the time. It's a weird movie. Looking back, I mean, it's very weird, but a lot of movies were weird in the 80s. You know, they had like Dark Crystal and, you know, well, a lot of those movies flop. Like Kroll is like my favorite movie, Kroll. That was what was Kroll's box office mojo? I love Kroll, dude. Favorite movie. Did this make? I think this flopped too. What was the budget? This doesn't have the budget. Dude, this only made 16 million. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a flop. Dude, this movie's awesome though. Kroll is awesome with the fire mares and all that. Remember that? I used to love that movie. I don't know what the budget for Kroll was. Let's see here. Does it show it even? It doesn't say. What the hell? That's because I need to go to Google. It was 27 to 30 million dollars for that movie's budget. So, yeah, a complete flop as well. Time Bandits. Yeah. Yeah, Time Bandits I think made money, I think. Let's check it out. The film Time Bandits grossed. Yeah, this made money. Time Bandits made money. So Time Bandits, it doesn't show the. Here it says they made $42 million, but it's over here on this other thing I'm looking at. It says the budget was $12 million. So this one was a success, box office success. Dude, they just did a remake of that crap, dude, on Hulu or something. Time Bandits. It is freaking the biggest piece of trash, dude. That's a disgrace. It's a it's on Hulu, I think. Dude, this is it says Apple TV. It has 76%. What the hell? Let's see if I can pull the images up for you guys. I can't play any. Look at this. Look what they did. This is so stupid. Oh man. Oh, I want to blow this up. Taika Waititi did a Time Bandits remake, and it's like it looks so bad. I didn't even bother looking at it. Well, I can't. How come it? Look at this, guys. It's out, I think, already on maybe on Apple. Look at the cast. Look what they did. No dwarfs. Look at this crap. Look at this. Wow. It's got the chick from Friends in there running like the thing. What are people thinking? When they make this stuff, like these producers, these movie studios, and all these people, like these directors, like in their mind, why would you make something you have to know when you're making it, it's an inferior product to the original. It's just money, I guess, right? They just want to get money. I guess. It's all money. I mean, it has nothing to do, it doesn't even look like it at all. Wow, This is a kick in the face. Is really what that is. So going back to that article, talking about the Dune 3, Denny Villeneuve thought he was gonna take a break. I heard some things he was gonna do Rendezvous with Ranma, or he was gonna work on another what's the drug cartel movies he works on? They're awesome. The Sicario. They're supposed to make a Sicario 3, bringing Emily Blunt back, which I hope they do. But yeah, but now he said I'm pretty sure they threw freaking money at him to come and do Dune 3 as soon as possible. That's good though, because they don't want to wait too long. The hype will die down. So you got to get that part 3 out as soon as you can. And then you got the show going. So they gotta milk it, but be careful with it, because Dune is not something you want to toil with overly. Like, you don't want to mess with you'll turn people against you real quick, Which they've done a good job of not really. They've done some modern day politics stuff into it, like they gender and race swap Dr. Kynes. They did some stuff with Dune Part 2 where they kind of, made like Chani more of a girl boss than she really is in the book, but it wasn't totally horrible. It wasn't as bad as a lot of stuff they do. If you didn't read the books, you wouldn't know. But yeah, if they push it any more than what they did with Dune Part 2, people will get turned off by it. Especially if they change any of the ending outcome of the Dune Messiah. If they change any of the outcome of that from the book, or any of the main baseline stuff, they're gonna have a problem. They're gonna have a problem on their hands. I'll tell you that right now. With fans, I don't think Denny Villeneuve will do that though. I don't think he'll let it change it that much. Let's see. He doesn't want to have a legacy of people hating his movies. That's kind of the kind of guy he is, I think. Let's see here. So the Dune prequel series, Dune Prophecy, recently got the green light. So I hope they do a prequel. What I hope they do is they do the House Atreides, House Harkonnen books, when the Baron is still like skinny and stuff. They'll have the young Baron where he's like basically like buff before he gets fat. You show all that. It's basically in House Atreides book right now. It's like the early days. Harkonnens controls Arrakis. The Baron kind of controls it. Young Duncan Idaho is like basically getting hunted as like a slave. Dude, there's a whole badass scene in there where Duncan, he's like 8 years old, or I don't know how old he is. He's like young. He's a kid. And Raban has this hunting party for sport to hunt slaves and stuff. And he's hunting them. And then Duncan's like sneaking around. He keeps freaking taking the hunters out. And then, yeah, there's this whole scene about that. And then I think at the end he gets tricked by one of the other slave kind of collaborator ladies. And she like pretends like, hey, come here, help you escape. But she's actually kind of working for Raban or the Harkonnens, whatever. This is a whole scene in the book. And then Duke Leto goes to, what planet does he go to? He's a kid. He's younger. He's not a kid, but he's young. And he goes and he's hanging out at Ix, I think, watching how they build ships and stuff. And these it's a badass scene. They're building ships, and they have like this canyon. They have like a Grand Canyon kind of thing on the planet, but it's been turned into like a shipyard. So then the ships are like hovering there and they're getting built, and like then they do like they do the lift off and they go up in the atmosphere. It's like this cool scene in the book. They make the ships on the planet, and this like canyon turned into a shipyard, and then it's pretty badass actually. And that was a cool scene in the book. I'm not done with that book yet, actually. I have not read. This is my first time reading that one, so I mean, I don't think a lot of people have read that book. In the beginning of the book, the Baron's out there watching. He's flying around on an ornithopter, and he's watching his spice mining operations. And like they're like, "Well, something's going on. We're detecting some kind of seismic activity." And then it's the first time they see a spice plume eruption. They've never seen one before. So he didn't. It explodes. It sucks in. He almost gets sucked in, but the pilot gets him out in time. But everything, the harvester and everything goes under. And then he's like, "Oh God, crap! I never seen that before." That's a cool book. I'm gonna keep. I just haven't had time to really read it. It's long, man. Those books are long. Yeah, so it looks like we're gonna get more of Dune Part 3 sooner than later. Let's see here. We talked about last week, Robert Pattinson is rumored to be a Scytale, the face dancer assassin that's going to be in that book. We also confirmed, or not confirmed, but we got news that Jason Momoa will be coming back. He said it on that Today show that he's coming back to Dune, which makes sense because he'll play a return in that book as well. So look, it's sounding good, guys. Everything so far on Dune 3. So 12-year jump. So the story, so Dune Messiah takes place like what, 12 years after, right? Dune. So but you have to remember Aaliyah is, they did the time jump all. They really probably should have had her born and did the time jump. They should have left that stuff the same, honestly, in Dune Part 2. They should have had the time lapse. They could have did a little, like a bit of, they did a montage of them taking out spice stuff. But then they changed it to her not being born. And then they just did a 6-month thing. When really she should have been born during that time frame. And then she's like 3 years old or something. She's like 2.5, 3 years old at the end of towards the end of the book. But she's like fully talking like an adult. Like, "Mother, the kids won't play with me." And they're all scared of her, they're Fremen. They're stupid. And like all this, I can't remember the exact stuff she's saying. Funny. She's acting funny though. "Why are they always looking at me? They won't." And she's like in class. No, she's arguing with Hera. That's what it is. Is it Hera? Jameis's wife that Paul took as the servant? It's Hera, right? And then she's arguing with her in the book, like basically like, "She's so dumb. She's retarded," and all this stuff. And she's like, I can't handle this girl no more." They could have made that funny in the movie. I don't know why they just didn't do that. You know? But anyway, she's supposed to kill the Baron too, by the way. With the Gom Jabbar. But they didn't. They left. They had Paul. I think maybe. I don't know why they decided to do that. That's kind of a big deviation from the book. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so it's going to cause an issue because it's a 12-year time jump between the end of Dune. So she's supposed to be like 15, 16. Aaliyah's supposed to be like almost 16 years old when in Dune Messiah. About that, around that. I think maybe it was like 15, 16. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but she's like mid-teens. And so how are they going to do that now? I don't know how they're going to do that in the new movie, but yeah, we'll see. It says right here, they're 12-year time jump. So yeah, I don't know how they're going to do that. This article goes through all that. Confirm plot details and themes. Paul's rule is under siege from within, and yeah, conspirators from the Bene Gesserit, Spacing Guild. See, I've talked about this. Every faction, he's totally controlling spice production at this point. When we get there, and every faction wants him dead. Okay. Oh, this is spoilers, guys. Maybe I shouldn't go over this if you don't know. I don't want to ruin the movie. Yeah, because it's going to be good, I think. Yeah, so we're going to jump into some... yeah, so basically, if you want to read this article from Night Meters, it's all spoilers. Maybe I'll put it in the... If you guys want spoilers, you can go read that article. I don't want to spoil. That's a lot. I was just looking through it. That's a lot of spoilers for Dune Messiah movie. So I'm not going to go over that. It's too much. All right, so now I guess before I close it out, I'm not going to do a super long stream tonight. We talk a little about Dune Messiah. I'm not Dune Messiah, Dune Awakening news, real quick. Right here, they haven't really said a... I think they're waiting to see how the game launches, and then they're going to put more effort into the PlayStation 5 and Xbox. Because that's my theory I talked about last week. I think that they're going to wait and see if this game sells. And I'm hoping that they get some of the big bugs out. I'm sold on the game, by the way. I'm already going to play it. I mean, with the building, it's on Dune, base building, resource collection, leveling up, mixed with PvE, PvP zones. I mean, I've been on board for this game. I am not one of those nitpicky kind of like, there's a bug. Ruined. I'm not playing this ever again. Like, I don't get like that on games like per se. Like when Cyberpunk came out, I had it on the PS5, and all I see on all over the internet is like, oh, it's broken, and I'm here playing it. I'm like, it seems fine to me. And I'm playing it. It's like, I don't know what people are talking about. I just didn't have the problems, I guess, that people had when I played that game. I beat that game in a hotel on my PS5. But the only game I ever played that was like, oh, this is broke, was that the day after, or whatever it was, that fake flop of a zombie game. That was the worst thing I ever played. I'm just hoping that this doesn't turn into that pirate. What's that game? There's a pirate game called Atlas that sucked. That game kind of sucked. Atlas. It was supposed to be this pirate MMO building, and it was like the pirate version of Ark. And I played it for like a couple hours, and I realized, oh, this is not fun. Yeah, so this should not be like that, though. I'm hoping. From what I'll just put it this way, guys. I know it's not like that. Okay, so the news. How do we get to the news here? Let's back this off a little bit. So they did a live stream, covered the combat. You know, looked pretty okay to me. Hold on 1 second, folks. Let me take a quick little break here and run to the restroom.
Desert roars, the land of spice and ancient lore. Fremen whispers in the night. Dreams of freedom take their flight. Try Hulu beneath the sand. Power shifts at your command. Golden eyes see futures bright. In the dunes we rise and fight. Ride the worm, hold on tight. Through the storm to the light. Call the banners of the brave. Sands of Arrakis will not cave. Arcanum's grip begins to fade. In shadows deep, our plans are laid. Prophecies in blood are sealed. In the dunes our fate revealed. Bene Gesserit weave their schemes. History echoes in our dreams. Houses rise and empires fall. Desert story holds them all. Water's precious drops we claim. In Arrakis lives our name. From the desert we derive strength to conquer, strength to thrive. Light the world, hold on tight. Through the storm, through the night. Call the banners of the brave. Sands of Arrakis will not cave. Arcanum's grip begins to fade in shadows deep.
All right, I'm back. All right, hope you guys didn't leave. So we're talking about the combat for Dune Awakening. So I know that the game isn't going to be like Atlas, that's for sure. And I know that it's I know it's a point of contention right now. A lot of people are. I do feel, from what I've seen of the game, the people that are like going to want to do a lot of like griefing and exploiting and doing all that kind of thing, they probably won't like it because in the beginning, because in Haga Basin, it's going to be primarily PvE zone. So a lot of those kind of people are they're going to have to do all that kind of stuff in the deep desert. So they're going to have to progress through the game to a certain point to get out there. But then I just don't know if they're going to. I don't know how that's going to work. I really don't know how it's going to work in because other games. I probably shouldn't talk too much about it, but I just feel like a lot of those games those suck. Those recent kind of survival-y kind of MMO games that all come out, and I feel like and I think that this one just doesn't. It's better. It's just better than those. Because I played like what's one I played? I try to really get into this game. I can't remember on top of my head what it's called. Like I keep trying to play Destiny 2, and it's just so convoluted, the menus and on the missions and all that stuff. I just get tired of dealing with that. And there's no building or nothing in that game. And there's no resource gathering, which is about my thing. What is the game I'm thinking of that I played recently that I tried to really get into it? I really tried to give it a chance, but I just couldn't. It's like an MMO kind of game. Yeah, I can't think of it. Hey, Fabulous Raptor, what's up? I'm just giving my thoughts on Dune Awakening And if they can fix like the server kind of technical bugs before launch, I think the game will do well. You just never know these days, though. You never know. You never know what's gonna happen. You could have another Helldivers on your hand or something. But we'll know soon. We'll know once that open beta weekend happens. Whenever that's going to be, which we don't know yet. Yeah, so we'll cover some of this. We'll go back and look at some of this footage here in a second that they did last week. I don't think they're going to do another live stream. They haven't said that. So the update is that the game was, so this was the main piece of information. You guys are all tracking most of this already, but for those of you who are not, the game was delayed to June 10th. I was gonna make a joke, but I was like, I was gonna call it Dune-teenth. I think people have been saying that in the Oh, this will probably be, yeah, Fabulous Raptor. This will be my only game I'm going to play for foreseeable future, especially on stream. And in fact, I have not been really playing other games deeply because I've been waiting for this game to come out. I don't want to put my time into them. I haven't been excited about a game like this in a while. It's been a long time. Yeah, so they're gonna do a. Does it say open beta in this press? Yeah, so June 5th, early access, not early access, but early release for people who bought the deluxe and ultimate, which is what I have. I have the ultimate edition, so I'll be able to play on June 5th. So June 5th is a Thursday, I believe. Man, we got a whole another month to go. Well, that sucks, guys. It's Thursday yet. Man, we were so close, too. We were like weeks away. Oh, man. That's okay. If we get that beta, I hope the beta runs for more than a weekend. We'll see. We don't know anything about it. Dude, if that beta comes out and it's a mess, they might push the game back more. We'll see what happens. And I'm curious if the beta will be the full thing or will be like scaled down to only certain areas. Who knows? Oh man. If they push it back again, that's gonna piss a lot of people off. Yeah. Yeah, so let's go into the I'm gonna pull up the is this all there is?
Hello and welcome.
We're showing some. I could have sworn. Yeah, I guess this would be 1080p because they streamed it. Yeah, so this is some of the footage that came from that last gamer stream, the live stream they did, the preview stream. Dude, my. I need to bump my room always gets hot when my computer is running. I gotta turn my AC down a little. There we go. All right, so here's some of the footage we got going on from the last gameplay combat reveal. We'll talk. I'm just gonna let this kind of play, and we're gonna kind of talk about. I'm just gonna talk over it, guys. Do some of my own thoughts and stuff about the game and things like that. So yeah, I'm not gonna let this go too much longer because there's some things I need to do. But and I was tired today. I gotta wake up tomorrow, do some things. But so and I gotta be ready. I gotta live stream tomorrow night. We're doing another live stream. I'll be doing my Friday and Saturday. I'm trying to do them as much as I can. I was gonna start streaming almost every day, nightly, on May 1st. But now I'm gonna kind of wait until when that beta hits. When we get the news of the open beta. The open beta, we're allowed to go free for all streaming and everything, they said. So, videos, everything, that's it. It's fully open after that point, I believe. So maybe when we get a date of that, I'll start streaming a couple days before that every night. So maybe if they say, let's just say they say the beta is the 14th or whatever of May. So I'll start streaming, doing these live streams in the build up, like maybe on the 12th, something like that, a couple days before. Do nightly ones. I just hope that's on a weekend. I really do hope it's a weekend. And then I hope it's on a day that I can take off or something, like the day it starts. I hope they start like on a Friday that I have off or something. Or I'll have to take it off. That's the problem. Yeah, so here's some of the footage of the game. I'm going to jump straight to the... this is not the right video I wanted to play. Oh, this was a guy's I wanted to react to. That's right. I wanted to see what he has to say. Let's actually watch his video.
Everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my
Miranda's
Dune Awakening
Crafter.
content.
Everyone go subscribe to him.
So I'm so excited, folks, to be here with you today. It's finally the weekend. The work week is over. We get to go home and make some content. Woohoo! About my favorite game, my passion, Dune Awakening. So I want to talk about something today, folks, that I see people talking about everywhere.
I'm gonna throw his video link in the
I see the
thing.
same stuff. It doesn't matter what Discord I'm on. It doesn't matter what YouTube video I'm watching. Everybody's asking the same questions. The same questions, for real. So one of the main questions that people are asking
Look, throw this guy a sub.
Can I play Dune Awakening as a PvE-minded player? Can I play Dune Awakening and focus on only PvE style content and not really engage in PvP? Because for a lot of people, PvP content is not what they're interested in. They're interested in PvE style combat. They're interested in safe gameplay. They're interested in not losing their resources and the things that they gather and not having their bases raided or destroyed or that kind of stuff. A lot of games in the past that we've played and adventured in that were considered survival MMOs like Ark, Conan PvP, Rust, things like that. Those are survival games, but those are more of a hardcore style of play, to where if you play on a PvP server in those games, you get the ability to lose everything always. If you played PvP in Ark, you know that every morning you would wake up and your base will be gone. It's just an eventuality. It happens every day. But this is a game.
Hey, if you're watching on TikTok, thanks for the show. I'm just watching this guy's video,
and kind of having division in both play styles so that
Mirandus?
you can choose what you want to do. Okay,
What's his name? Mirandus Crafter on YouTube. Kind of been watching his videos coverage.
Play the game today is you have choice. You
Hey, got a bunch of people on
play
TikTok watching. Hey,
how
appreciate it,
you want
guys.
to play. Now, for somebody that's PvP,
It's the first time, never had this many.
which means player versus environment. You're more interested.
Hey, so stay
in
tuned. Make sure you
playing
follow my channel on
content
TikTok,
that's
guys. Once the
generated
game
as
comes
part
out,
of
I'll be live
story
streaming it on here.
quests, or going out and gathering resources, or doing crafting, or doing base building, or
June 5th,
playing
and
the
then
market
we have an open
and
beta.
doing
So
things
open
like
beta
that,
weekend
or
in May.
doing player
I'll be
versus
live streaming that.
environment PvE style quest combat, to where you're fighting against AI controlled enemies in a planned story arc sequence type thing, or you're just interested in leveling and you just want to level your character by going through quest lines and by killing some AI enemies and doing things like that, and maybe getting experience from crafting or resource harvesting. And those are what you're interested in, and you really don't feel like you want to engage in PvP combat, you can still play this game, because
Oh, if you are watching on TikTok too,
at first, whenever you start the game,
next
you're going to start
Friday,
with
I think
your
it
little
is.
tutorial sequence where you
Stick
wake up
around
in a
next
cave and
Friday
you start to
on
learn some mechanics of
my
the
YouTube,
game,
and I'll be
like how to
putting
climb,
I'll be
what
putting
your,
TikToks and
little
shorts out
survivor
too. I'll be
backpack does, and how to do some initial crafting and things of that nature. But then
I'll just say I'll have some actual
the Haga Basin. The Haga Basin is the PvE
good
map where
footage coming
you
out of the
can
game.
Play about 95-ish% of the content of that map is
25th of
PvE
April.
only. Okay, there's only just a few certain situations on the Hogam Basin map that are considered PvP zones, and those are centered around things like shipwrecks. There are little zones of content around shipwrecks in that map that when you get close to that zone and you enter into that little small area, a pop-up on your screen will pop up and alert you, hey, you're fixing to enter into a PvP enabled zone, and then you can choose whether to go and do that or not. Okay, so you have the option to leave it if you don't want to. So there's no real flagging in this game, you know, as you have seen in past games like New World and stuff like that, where you flag yourself to be able to partake in PvP combat or not. In this game, you just have to be mindful of
That's a way
what
better
zone
option,
you're
too.
in, or what part of the map.
You just gotta be
you're
careful
on,
in
okay?
what
Most
zones
of
you're
your
in.
PvP content is going to take part in a place called the Deep Desert, and if you don't want
Yeah,
to,
it's stupid if you're
don't
gonna
even
turn
really
yourself
have
on
to
and off
go
for
there.
PvP.
Yes,
This is better.
there
There's like hazard
are
zones.
elite
It's a much better option.
resources
Much better.
in the deep desert, and a lot of people were worried about that if they are trying to focus on a PvE style mindset of playing, because they're thinking to themselves, well, if I don't go into the deep desert, I'm not going to be able to get these key resources that I'm going to need.
I wonder if we're gonna
for,
see a
like,
bunch
later
of
stages of
tuckers
crafting
and
skill,
like
or
in
the
Sea of
better
Thieves, people
equipment.
hiding
I
out
won't
at these
get those
shipwrecks,
drops,
ready to
or
try and jump
the
you.
better schematics. I won't get those drops because I'm not there. Do not stress about this, okay? Do not beat yourself up over this, and do not even worry about it. And the reason why is because there's such a thing as the exchange on this game. One of the things that I like about this game, probably top 5 for me, honestly, because I'm a big economy nerd and I love economies, is what's called the CHOAM Exchange. The CHOAM is just an acronym that stands for a spacing company that controls a lot of the production in the universe, and they facilitate a marketplace for players to sell everything in this game. So anything that you loot in this game, you can sell. And what that means is the players that are doing the PvP content and that are getting those resources that you really don't want in there to go in there and get, and those drops and those schematics, they're going to be listing them on the auction house and selling them. So what that means is the PvE only characters will still be able to buy those items and have everything that they need. Well, you say, well, how am I going to buy them if I don't get a lot of resources because I'm not going into that
This guy
deep
needs
desert? Well, you don't
noise
have
cancellation on his
to
mic.
go into the deep desert to get the resources to buy items. When you're on the Haga Basin map, you can farm for resources and you can sell those. You can do PvE content and loot crates and do loot chests during the content and get good drops, and the currency of the realm called Solari. You can get those little.
You can hear his whole
currency
house
with
back
little
there when he makes
X
his
on them.
videos.
That's what you're going to use to buy things with. So you're going to be getting a lot of that from there. Honestly, you as a PvE player may get more currency from doing the PvE questing areas and stuff than the PvP players, because they're only going to get, you know, drops off players here and there of resources and currency, because you don't drop your gear in this game when you fall to PvP, only in one specific instance that's tied to a political system. But you as a PvE player may actually end up making more of the currency Solari than the PvP players, so you may be actually able to buy whatever you want. Now, you also, as a PvE player, will have access.
I'm sure there's
to
way more money out in the
chests
deep
out
desert.
in the world, in the map, and you will be able to get rare drops and rare
probably not true what he
from
said.
those, and you can turn around and flip those on the auction house and make all the coin you need to be able to then turn around and buy that spice that you're not able to go harvest because you don't want to go in the deep desert. You can buy it off the marketplace. You can buy it off the exchange.
Well,
so what I'm trying to get across to you is,
I won't say anything
you're
about that.
a PvE minded player, and that's really your main focus, and you really don't have the desire for that player mono combat. You don't want to really do that. You just want to focus on yourself or possibly a guild of people that are only PvE minded. You can do that. The game has built choice into it, much more so than a lot of other games I've ever seen, because one of the reasons why you can do that is because the map that you're on, the Haga Basin, that's going to be where you put down your base. Okay,
Looks like they have
That's
vehicle
gonna be
scanners.
where
That's
you
going to be
build
freaking
your
key to
multiple
have.
base locations that you can build. I think at this time, the latest that I've heard, you can have 3 bases per player, per account. So I mean, you can put your base down in the Haga Basin. It cannot be raided by other players, and the only way that it would decay is if you don't regenerate your shield every 20 to 21 days. So as long as you play once every couple of weeks, you can keep your base indefinitely shielded and not have to worry about losing your
It's like he's working in a
valuables,
warehouse or
losing your
something.
base, losing your storage, losing your resources, none of that. So therefore, the acquisition of wealth can be a thing for you as a PvE player, which will allow you to advance. You may actually be in kind of a better position than most other styles of play, because you're going to be focusing on the map where the majority of, well, just about all of the skill quest givers are. That's something else you have to kind of think about, because to advance and unlock all the different skills from the different archetypes, like the Trooper, the Mentat, the Bene Gesserit, all those, you have to actually, if you did not start with them because of the choice that you chose,
It's a long video.
Character creation, you will have to go
It's
out
15
into
minute
the
15
world
minutes.
of the Haga Basin map and look for those quest givers, those secret locations where those people that are going to teach you planetology, people that are going to teach you the Bene Gesserit beliefs are, and they're going to have you do things for them and run around and do quests, and they're going to unlock these skills for you. You may actually be in a better position than a PvP player because they're focused on that combat with each other. They're not focused on leveling up their skills, you know, unless
The market's going to be
spent
nuts,
a
Fabulous
couple of
Raptor.
weeks doing that prior to going to the PvP area. I mean, you're going to be somebody that's going to be focused on that map and is going to be looking for that content, uncovering every rock and every stone, opening every chest, finding every resource node, gathering every resource node in the area. I mean, you're going to be doing everything. You're going to have your little
Keep showing the
sandbike,
same footage over and over again.
It's not going to be long before you have your ornithopter, and you can go to the, you know, the player hubs and hang out and dance and have a good time, play on the
Okay, that's enough of that. We're going to go into here to the see here more. Here we go. This is from the last live stream.
But there are forces beyond even your control.
I had to cut that guy off, but I think we were getting the gist of it.
Master Arrakis.
I think it's funny how the
And it will all control.
watch this. I think it's funny how the spice harvesters look like crap porta-john trucks. Here we are gonna suck some toys. Gotta clean them. Some toys. What was the porta-johns in Europe or in Germany? The toys, that brand of porta-john.
Master Arrakis. And it will open your mind. This is your path to awakening.
Pretty cool stuff, guys. We're gonna jump to the combat.
We have had this character set up in a location.
So this is what Funcom streamed a little while
The
ago.
combinations of experiences that our players will be able to have.
What, 5
Combat
days ago?
is a dance of multiple things, and
Their
we
mics
have
were all
a
bad, though.
Wide selection of very interesting toys that we'll demo here, so that our viewers can see and experience.
So this will be solo combat first, right? Just to make that clear.
Ooh, we're actually low on water. I forgot to solve that problem beforehand. And we're
No.
standing in the sunlight.
See, that's why you should always be prepared if you go
Right,
out. Make
absolutely.
sure you have enough
We
water.
will
Make
not
sure you
cheat to fix this problem. We will suffer the consequences
because we can cheat.
we will find water in the location that we go to. As you
But
see
it-
here, we've begun to be dehydrated. But sorry,
Yes.
It's very much worth mentioning that you'll be having fewer dashes because you're low on hydration.
Your stamina actually gets
Exactly.
limited.
Reduced, yeah.
if you can see where the pips
Oh, when
are
you're-
on
when
the
you're
bottom
dehydrated, you
left
just
of the
start
screen
swaying like
above
that.
the
You get
hydration level,
exhaustion.
Every time you cross that threshold, you're given a bonus to your stamina. Right now, because we're below both of the thresholds, we do not have that bonus. It's a missed statistical opportunity.
And your health goes down as well.
And the
over
health is
time.
going to be ticking down. We have a challenge. We'll overcome the challenge. I promise.
And on the same time, you're also sunstroke.
I'm also sunstroke, yes.
Yeah.
Everything
So
that's going
if
bad
it
will
rains,
go
it
bad.
pours, right? Even it's
Absolutely.
Arrakis,
It's lovely.
but it
Yes.
still rains, it pours.
It's
yeah.
pouring sunlight.
Go for it.
So
I want to get the armor
first,
like from
I'm gonna talk about
the
tools
Atreides
that we're
armor from
bringing,
Dune Part
and then
1.
we're gonna
That'd be
touch on
badass.
The skills that we have equipped for this character. This character specifically going to be for my playstyle. Let's talk about first the equipment. We have a selection of items: healing, melee, disruptor, rifle, scattergun. These all have their uses. I will use them interchangeably in combat. We have a armor kit. This is light armor. This is more focused around dashing and
You can
dodging.
hear the
and being
sounds in the
more
background.
protective against melee attacks. We have our battery pack that fuels our two of our primary resources, which is technically they're both pulled from the same pool, the energy pool, which Holtzman shields use, and this is the Holtzman shield, and Holtzman suspense use.
I don't know if anybody
Now, we'll
chats,
quickly
if
show this
somebody
before we
taps
go any further.
the comment
So,
in
I
TikTok,
will
does it
first
show up
activate
in my
shield. Boop, boop. Fantastic.
does it show up in my
And then,
Streamlabs
as Vinny
feed?
said,
I wonder.
the unique
If you are
narrative
watching on
of
TikTok,
Dune
just send a
forces
quick
projectiles
comment
to have to put down the shield for them to leave it.
in
We
the
must time-
chat there. Just send me
we must
anything. Just a
time our gameplay
hi or
around this
whatever.
mechanic. Then, suspensors. The one I chose is the one I personally prefer the most. It is energy
Kinda
efficient,
testing a
doesn't
theory
give me
here.
vertical velocity, but it allows me to float. To float.
Yeah, they got Holtzman tech.
Maybe I will have to cheat to solve this water problem. This is becoming poignant.
And you saw that
Suspensors.
the shield started blinking there. That's because he was
Dispenser
low-
technology.
low-
It's all
low
based on the
energy
Holtzman field.
while he was
All the same.
I'm gonna gas out and pop the bubble. There we
The
go.
shields
So
and
here,
the suspensors
we've
are the
lost our
same.
Shield, we've lost the perfect barrier because
And-
it's tied to the resource pool because we're floating.
The same thing
It
as
will
the
regenerate,
space folding.
and it will
All derived from the
re-engage.
same sort of tech.
There we go. Now, in terms of skills, let's have a quick look. The camera overlay is hiding a couple of buttons, but I'll pretend I know where they are and click through them. So here we see our 5 archetypes, and my choice of skills, for me personally, and because of the setup that we're playing, which is away from the TV a little bit, on remote hardware. So if I
It
miss
shows
this, I'll
4
find out
people
this
watching my
now.
TikTok, but I guess they're just
Getting out of the way
bots.
now.
No gaming chair either.
No,
so
no,
it's
no,
like-
no. Knee charge,
No one's typing anything.
compel, and assault seeker. In terms of my techniques, which are actions that function passively.
It's nice though. I have 4
can't
people
believe
watching
I'm
though.
without
Usually I have
glasses
0.
on my face. Right, that believe it says center of mass. We have energy conservation to give me more juice so that I can fight for longer, float for longer, shield for longer, and death from above to give me benefits to my damage output while I'm floating.
See, this is my biggest
that's
gripe
it.
about it. Sea of Thieves. That
Let's do
game.
this, actually. Let's
There's
do a
no
little bit of
leveling up,
cheating
nothing.
so
There's
that
no
people
building,
don't
nothing.
see the,
So that was
magic hands.
you spend all
while
this
we're
time on
fixing
Sea of
the
Thieves,
character.
The water
pirating,
consumption.
getting
Water
gold,
consumption.
and you don't really get anything out of it.
The thing that
It's
our
just-
support
just
does-
I'm gonna
cosmetics.
Do some, I'm
That's
gonna
That's
do
it.
some water
so that I can
consumption
fix
as
it
well,
as well.
actually. Just
Fantastic.
to,
I'm gonna look this way to fix it. Magic button there.
just so we are like aligned.
Fair. There's no problems at all. This is just magic that happens.
Do you need some water as
That's
well?
funny
Are you
that
okay?
there's
So the character's fixed,
bubble water they're drinking.
Nice.
hydrated, cheating concluded.
Oh, let me go back real quick. Actually,
See? So the character's fixed.
you see in Europe,
Hydrated.
in Europe when all the bottles, they unscrew the tops, they fold over, so the caps stay connected to this little plastic tabs. So for those of you who don't know, I was actually there in this office about a month ago. I flew to Oslo, Norway, and I visited the Funcom main office, the headquarters. I haven't made a video on that yet, but I need to get. Maybe I'll try to do that tomorrow. Oh, let me see something real quick. If I can even do this. Before I'll let this play in a sec. Wait, this is going.
Cheating concluded. See, we have a blue bar. It's magic. Perfectly planned, perfectly prepared. Nothing happened.
It was all planned
It was
anyway
all
from the
planned.
get-go, so we
And you can
just...
see that even though we're cheating,
Wow, how
the
old
health
is this?
doesn't go
Exactly.
up immediately. You will have
Because-
to regenerate health.
Because we are hydrated, we are regaining our maximum lost life.
Exactly.
Right. So, well, we're gonna give it a second, so that we don't completely get destroyed, even though we're shielded as we progress forward.
We can also talk about the fact that you're actually wearing a helmet, but you can actually hide the helmet. I
Should I
think
I want to play a
you
video
can- I
clip
mean,
of
it's not combat related, but I think a lot of
Where is
people
that
are
button, if you
actually
guys remember?
press D. You can press D,
Press the D key.
and there you go. So
There
you have a
it
toggle
is.
here, so you can actually toggle your helmet on and off, and that works with
I
all
like
armor.
helmetless in this case. Much
Me
better.
too. Like a lot of players, like just have like. I don't want to see.
out of
I want to
this.
see my
Oh, this
the
is
beautiful
not-
face
this is
on you doing
not-
the character
Okay.
creation.
really.
I believe.
You can
Unless you
survive.
guys-
You can survive the first encounter. That's just
I hope
outside.
so. And we have DBNO mechanics that will allow me to stand back up again. Let's experience.
And you're
Well,
also,
if not, you have
and
an
you're also being,
excuse.
being dehydrated by the sun again.
Still, right. Let's get into let's get into the shadows. The location we're going to is an eco lab. It's to the forward left. We're gonna rotate counterclockwise and hit the entrance. I've been in this eco lab a couple times, so I
Wow.
have relatively good memory of where the NPCs are. But if I make a mistake, it's not my fault. It's the hardware's fault.
There we go.
We shall begin.
Taking a bold approach here.
This is not. I hit every bullet. It's absolutely not me. We'll re-heal, and because we're shielded, we continue to advance.
How old are these?
Let's get into it. Let's pressure this. Let's pick up the tempo. I'm gonna go here, rotate left, compel core. Thank you. And dispatch him easily. We're relatively safe here. This character is by himself. His mate was dispatched. We're shielded. We're in shadow and we're inside. This is the entrance of our Ecolab location.
Here we go.
I used compel there as one of my skills. In the very beginning of the game,
These are
access,
images.
like Vilja said, to all 3 skills. You must experience a certain narrative event before they come online.
Yeah.
At that
You
point,
probably have gotten it at this point in the game
yes.
because it's like 10 hours in or something.
Do you remember which tier we're in right now?
Steel.
Steel tier?
Well, this one is steel tier, but it's placed in Iron tier area.
Right, it's the challenging Ecolab.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites because it is quite long. It has very interesting disposition of rooms, and it forces you to really, really work, especially for the tier that it's in. So we're gonna make our way down the hall. Actually,
Checking this out.
no, we'll save that for later. I was thinking about activating the precedent state, but I think we'll save that for later. So let's see. We have 2 characters here. They don't know we're here. We will. No, we won't do that. We'll just open up the scattergun. Oh no! Okay, that was my mistake.
Oh,
You
Shield
could
back on.
though, like if you try.
I already have a folder that says that?
This is one of the things that is
Oh, I
not
do. Oh, I already.
evident
Oh, I already got a
because
bunch of stuff
if
in
you
here.
crouch your character, you do not generate audio movement events. What that means is that if you can predict which way NPCs will move, you can get much closer to them to do what I essentially did here, which is get the scattergun in a much, much closer position.
Yeah, and the scattergun obviously is better at close range because it scatters a lot of pellets, a lot of darts.
We will push through. Let's have a look.
Yeah, because the scattergun is basically like your shotgun approach in other
Yeah.
games.
The other interesting element here is that, as Vilja said,
We're gonna go to next year.
we don't only. Ooh, I missed.
Oh, that was a
that's
nice
interesting.
dot.
That's
in
me.
there.
Let's not. I'm shielded. He's not going to do anything. It's okay. We'll find him. Overpowered. One of the things I mentioned before is that because of the setting, because of the Holzman technology, and because of how we need to value, there has to be value to attacking something, but not
Oh, yeah, this is it.
really taking its hit points.
Real
away,
quick, guys.
which
I'm
is
gonna
where
show you when I went
staggers
to
and stagger mechanics really come.
pause this. This is when I went to Funcom. I'm breathing all heavy because I'm walking everywhere. Supposedly, entrance to this place is somewhere around here. I have no idea. Guess we'll find out. This is kind of fun, right, guys? It's like a kind of a little adventure. Never been here before. Yeah, first time ever there. I just found this place random, like just had to go find it. There was the door is actually here on this construction. Here's a picture. Oh shoot, that's not gonna work. Funcom Oslo right there. All right, here, this is funny. Kind of funny trying to find out how to use this key panel to call. Oh, so 91. I taped everything. It's telling me right now because I'm an idiot. Okay, hit OK. So 91. Oh, there it goes. Isn't that kind of funny, guys? I taped the statue inside the lobby. Those are, I guess, moving photos situations. Here I am at the in the Funcom room, the grass wall. And here's the where they do all their little videos. And wait, I'll show you a funnier one. I'm actually hiding in there. Pretty cool, huh? The tradies door. That's when I couldn't take so many pictures. I was limited. There's like basically it's kind of a secure, not secure building, but there's only so much I could take photos of in there, and they let me. There I am pointing at the Atreides door, one of the offices, and that's me, Camille, Alex, Christina, I believe. Great people. I mean, they're really, dude. That's another reason why I'm kind of like biased toward this game, because they welcome me. Dude, they don't know me. They didn't know who I was. I mean, they knew me a little bit, but like they invited me in to tour the whole company, and they're super friendly. I mean, that's another reason I'm kind of biased, kind of impartial to the company, just how friendly they were and how nice of people they are. You know, kind of just all around. Everything I've interacted with was they're just great people. What's this? This?
Well, guys, I did it. Went to FunCom. It was awesome. Did a quick little tour around there.
Let me restart
The
that.
office. People were busy at work. And
Well,
guys, I did it. Went to FunCom. It was awesome. Did a quick little tour around there. The office. People were busy at work. And very, very gracious host there. Showed me around the place, and it was really awesome.
pretty cool experience, guys. Honestly, yeah, they didn't. I flew out there on my own dime, so. Let's see here. I regret not taking a picture of one of the best chicken katsu sandwiches I ever had.
Candy store's like straight ahead.
Of course, they have McDonald's everywhere. He wants a candy. My kid wants a candy store wherever we go. So, yeah, pretty cool stuff, guys. I have some other stuff from that trip, like in Amsterdam and all that. So we went to Germany, Netherlands, Norway. We did a whole like European vacation, and then we did a pit stop at FunCom. Pretty interesting stuff, right, guys? So I've been like in these offices when they're doing these videos. Some of them. They have 2 floors there.
Come in. For example, with the scattergun is one of the best tools you have to force a stagger at short range, not melee range, but at short range, to a target that you manage to land all of your darts on. So you're going to continue advancing, explore this space. Shall we activate the special?
Just wait till you get in
energy?
a little bit of trouble.
Let's get a bit of trouble. So, kind of a longer corridor. I will zoom in with my magical Mark 1 eyeball to try to spot the baddies as we advance ever so slowly.
Yeah, man, it's getting late. Might have to cut this a stream
No.
here in a minute, guys.
There we go. Right. Let's pull back.
Yes,
Main
me
charge
in there.
will
Yep.
proceed to compel, tactically withdraw.
He didn't.
Heroically running away.
Oof. Okay. I need to. This is the other element. We need to.
Looked like that power failed on him.
disposition
Oh, he got
them.
hit.
Get through Oh, there's dodging. Please push through. Nice. I need to. I have my
Yeah, dodge
abilities.
is gonna be crucial.
You see, it's very much about positioning and tactical
1,
combat.
2,
Yeah.
3. He staggered. Push through. Nice.
And as you saw, the NPC was
He
actually
cut
doing
through the
stuff
shields like
against
the
it
movie.
because they
It's
have
pretty
the same
awesome. I love that.
abilities as we do.
And he's on reload, and I follow through.
He was just
Successfully.
reloading. Yes, nice.
Successfully. We might actually get NPCs to maybe be a little bit more clever with when they reload versus shielded characters. That's a future team conversation. Let's handle
Maybe you
that.
can at least imbibe some spice beer so you're ready for it.
Absolutely. Let's see. Let's take before we go any further. Let's one. That'll push our bar upwards, and we have to wait a few ticks for it to get ready. We're not going to trigger it yet. We're going to wait for the go signal before we get spicy.
Also, you can do that with
Spicy.
food or drinks,
Get
but
spi-
also
let's get spicy.
sometimes it
Ooh,
kind of
Bombays.
goes up
Hey
organically.
there.
I mean, if
Hey
you
there.
go to a spice field, you will inhale spice
Yes.
directly.
And you can also see the particles in the air. You
I'm
actually
letting this
see it.
play
It's
while I'm
very
going to
interesting.
grab a drink real quick, guys.
And then we follow through, and we keep eyes out for the other characters here.
Oh, finish him.
Oh no!
Oh, he's gonna come.
Oh, I didn't press keyboard fault, not my fault. I actually tried to dodge, or technically dash. Push through the shield. Nice.
So you saw the shotgun there staggering the enemy and then following through with a blade.
My objective there was to read the telegraph on the knee charge and move tactically to the side. I had failed. I pressed the wrong button, but it's okay. Success was still had. Right, and here, because we're in an eco lab, it is actually not the easiest place. Should we activate our power here?
Sure.
Let's
Go
do
for
it. So, we're entering the prescient state. As Vilja said prior, we have increased output of damage, we have reduced cooldowns on our abilities, and more importantly, we have information. And information is ammunition that we can use to succeed.
Yeah, you have to actually see the enemies first, but once you do, you are conscious of where they are.
So, I will actually try to utilize the playstyle of this character build to its optimum. I will float and fight. And if I could please hit. Please hit. No, okay. No, wait. Go that way.
You did see the buff activate
Yeah,
though
yeah.
on the right side from your
Engage the heal. I need to
passives
engage
while
this
you were
flame.
floating.
Dash sideways. 1, 2, 3,
I'm back.
dash away.
Oh man, I'm starting to get more viewers here, guys.
Parry. Follow through.
It's always like that when I'm getting ready to close the stream
And
is when I
since
start
you're
getting more
spec,
viewers.
You're on the same tier as them, basically. It's just one slow blade. If you go against higher tiered enemies, you will have to use more of those. So that's obviously more challenging.
Normally, the first time players experience a location that they are under-geared for, they need to be Ooh, that's interesting. Ooh, okay, let's proceed to melee. Yeah, and you shall. Okay.
From what we saw there was that you were blocking. You weren't parrying. You were
Yeah.
holding block actually.
I didn't feel comfortable in the situation to try to risk it. How did he die? I guess he exploded. That's interesting. Let's
Well,
push
then-
forward. Let's see what we encounter. Let's actually reload our equipment. Reload. There we go. This next button. No, that's the same button. Reload this button. There we go. And this last one is already ready to go.
You also see now, of course, that the spice.
I've seen meters
bar
Twitch
is
loading
down.
real slow this last couple weeks.
And as you saw there, Alex was preparing before the next encounter. You
Oh, it's
should
lunchtime where
prepare
you are,
before
yeah.
You go into every encounter.
Especially if you play solo, right?
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
be way more careful.
Yeah, we talked
right
before.
now.
You were in
Usually it's okay. It's just a question of how many resources players are willing to sacrifice.
Thailand?
For
No.
their
We,
speed
you're
and
somewhere in
efficiency.
Southeast Asia, right?
Let's actually throw a Seeker. Bang.
But we also see here what you mentioned
Yeah,
earlier.
Thailand.
when we talked
Yeah, I
about
remembered.
solo
Hey, I
play.
remembered.
Like Alex is really trying to be able to pick his fights, right? Like trying to separate enemies.
I got a
trying to
memory
go
like
for
that.
cover,
This is a heavy
Use his ability to not
I-
have to fight everyone.
Oh, yeah, we talked about the earthquake, right?
To force them into a long CC effect while dispatching his friend.
Man,
and
what
come
happened?
back
What was
and
the end
solve
result of
problem.
that?
Oh no.
And this is the first time we see a heavy in this.
Let's
A lot of people
see,
get hurt.
switch the disruptor, and we need to use
I know they had
our
some people get
explosive
killed
damage
in
to get a little bit of chip on him.
some areas, right?
Not that much chip, but let's see what happens. We're gonna go in. 1, 2, 3. Push through. Push through.
I have a good friend that lives in
Disengage, see if
Thailand.
he decides to bubble. No.
I think it goes back and forth between the U.S. and Thailand, actually, though.
And then
Because-
And yeah, this guy has a minigun, and they are very good at taking down your shield as well.
one of the chat.
Oh,
Yes.
That was very close.
he
Okay.
was just about to do a suspensor blast, which would incapacitate Alex.
Yeah,
One
Myanmar.
of the big things
Myanmar.
that players will experience.
It's
is
not
that
quite.
even
It's,
though, as
Myanmar
mentioned,
isn't
even
quite
though
as it's
an
poorer than
individual
Thailand, isn't it?
character is quite easy
Isn't
to
Thailand a
handle,
lot more
the second you
modern than
mismanage
the
space
Ma-
or
la-
mismanage resources, it becomes very tricky.
Myanmar is a little more poor and less better built buildings and
It
stuff.
becomes very tricky to handle the output that everything is from, which is why I need to try to focus these guys down quickly CC him, disengage.
Everything I've seen of Thailand
I
is
jokingly say,
looks like awesome. I
running
don't know
away
why.
bravely, but like
I'm sure it has
really a tactic.
bad
It's
areas,
smart
but
tactics
You
sometimes,
you
yeah.
should try to get
Everybody
away from this,
does.
regroup,
US
and
has
then
real bad
go back
areas.
in with a plan.
It's
'Cause
probably
going
some
against a lot
places of the
enemies
United
solo
States are more dangerous
is
than
tricky.
Thailand, I bet.
Right, let's progress. Okay, this way. It looks interesting. Let's have a look. Right, that appears to be a ring. Ooh, okay, let's check this way. Rotating.
have it.
Right. So again, we'll compel him away from this problem, and then we'll press the opposite direction. And we'll try to dispatch his turns quickly. It's not me, it's the hardware.
All I ever see of Thailand is all the bar girl things, the strips and stuff, and
Recharge successful. Push through.
everyone, all the American dudes and Europeans flying there to
allow you,
get the bar girls.
to bypass. Can I? Yes, I can. No, okay. Pull away. Pull away. The reason I pulled away.
I just
is
feel
because
that's all
I
one big
lost my stamina,
scam.
which is why my abilities
They just
were not
take this want
usable.
you for your
I
money.
pulled away to regenerate my stamina, re-heal, to be safe. I could probably have succeeded the fight. I just didn't want to choose.
That's what
to
it looks
risk
like.
My resources, because everything in Dune.
You probably have to be real
costs
selective,
time,
though.
Cost investment. Why risk when you can make things a little bit more successful?
Right, and you might even have lost.
I think my
the
buddy
spice
married
of
a Thai lady.
of the mini island.
Push through.
And I'll mention for the beta players that we're doing a big rework or iteration on stamina. So a lot more things will cost stamina. Stamina won't always regenerate depending on actions that you do. You won't regenerate stamina as you sprint, for instance. We have a few more fixes coming in for this
Wide
as well,
variety of
but
things, I
it
bet.
will be a much more valuable and an important aspect of combat.
This version is not on the beta, right?
No, this is
No,
not on the
this
beta.
one-
Right,
It's
so
not
this
on
is
the
the
beta.
first time beta players could be potentially seeing the changes that are upcoming.
Yeah.
Interesting. Lovely lore tidbit. Let's press the button. People can enjoy.
This
the
combat's
text
pretty-
or proceed to succeed.
That's actually the boss that is talking.
It's the leader of this this area, Inhaler.
It's fine to me. I don't know why.
I don't see any contacts. We'll push forward and further.
It reminds me of like
Okay.
a mix between
This looks like
Fortnite
the space
and
we're
like
there we go.
Mass Effect
Right,
and like
so my press instinct has depleted.
not
Oh, yeah.
Destiny.
Which is
What's
why
the
I
one?
only
What's the
see
third person
the
one?
character's lovely highlights to tell me what they're about to do. So
What's the third
I need
person
to
shooter?
choose when to go in with much less information.
And we can see here what's happening now is that he's in withdrawals. We can't actually consume spice.
Oh, I found that
We need to
one
wait
game I was
for
talking
that
about that I
part
tried to
go
get
down,
into that I
then
couldn't.
we can consume
Once
spice. However,
you can
we'll
build
have
too. Once
consume
human.
more spice now than we did in the first round because he's.
I really
his
tried to
tolerance
like
is
that
growing,
game,
and
and
this
it
can
just
go
was
to
like
quite a high
basically
level
kinda
where you'll have to
eh.
consume a lot of spice in order to be able to go pressure.
Got a lot of people playing it though.
Shall we consume spice? Let's see. Oh wait, no. Ooh. I will know. I will focus on the gameplay.
I just couldn't get into it.
Right, dispatched. Okay, let's see what this character is doing. Okay, he thinks I'm there. Let's compel. One. Break away. Scattergun.
Man, we got people.
does.
We got people.
I'm not there anymore. And I can't hit him. Great. Wait, again.
Is this the server acting up?
Let's see what happens. We're gonna finish and get our success.
Man, I'm
opportunity.
live right now
no,
on,
No, don't.
Back.
I'm right now.
Nice.
Twitch showing me live on
Rearm.
Twitch under the Dune Awakening category.
This button to rearm this gun. We'll press this button. That's already reloaded. Scattergun is reloaded. Disruptor ready. Let's rock and roll.
So that's good.
Right. I kind of know this layout. We're gonna go down the stairs and further and further. Let's see again. Shall we? Let's use that and use more. And spice is the fuel of the Empire.
It's
It
spicy.
is a lovely resource. It is expensive, but we are on Arrakis. Therefore, unlike most characters in the universe, we have easy access to it.
And to be fair, we're cheating right now a little bit when it comes to spawning items, spawning the beer.
I wonder who else is watching me on Twitch.
It's fine.
It shows a couple.
It's observe.
No, but
us
you
around
will
us.
be able to craft spice beer, spice coffee yourself, and you'll also sometimes find it in loot.
Right, okay. That's a
Then
good
again,
idea.
if you like getting
is what-
close to spice field, it would also.
The thing is, though, they've only showed like early game combat. Really, when they show that deep desert combat, It looks like it gets a little more spicy, so to speak, when the harder enemies start ganging up on you. So I could see it getting pretty hard.
Okay, let's speaking more focus. Sorry.
We'll jump to that here. I'll jump to that.
He's getting compelled. He'll approach. He'll get stabbed. Nice.
I'm gonna jump to the. So this is the deep desert combat right here, guys.
Like group gameplay, group like.
This is a team up.
Coordination,
thank you.
Planning, well, a little bit more of them planning because these locations
I want that las cannon, dude.
Desert, so you have to have a fair bit of planning.
Looks like you can unlock some pretty cool weapons in this game.
Not everyone here is a friend.
Yeah, the deep desert ecolabs, they are in PvP areas, so you run the risk of PvP here, obviously.
Also, we see also the players here. They wear higher tier armor. They have better weapons. They have more abilities as well. Plus, but you're probably going to comment on that later on as well, the approach and the mechanics in this type of ecolabs is kind of different than we just saw in the solo
Yes,
gameplay.
the enemies are much more aggressive. They're much higher tiered enemies. The weaponry and the gadgets and abilities they use against you are more advanced. Also here, the blood doors have an additional function where
Yeah, some folks were asking me if I'm going to do a blog on this too. The problem is I only have so much time in the day I can focus on this because I have a full-time career
and loot also
that I'm doing.
A bit differently in the deep desert compared to
all of this so far is a hobby.
PvP.
My whole entire Dune channel
works differently
because it is monetized. But I've only made like $80
because anyone going up to the loot box, exactly, they will get the loot. However, here
and you can't take money out until you get 100. So I've never actually made any money off of any of this.
So
that's the problem. So I mean, it's all 100% hobby.
So yeah, we just used to
even I've paid my way to Oslo. That was all I paid. They didn't pay anything for that. That was all on my own dime.
Used to harvest rocks and
that was an expensive trip. So that's okay. I'm writing that off on taxes next year.
That's, I think, Camille playing, so he is actually looting boxes. Thank you. Better for my anxiety.
Let's see what our players encounter. Exploring the space. I love these. These are so different. Just
yeah, there's friendly fire, so I think that's what they added that element to the game on purpose.
On the team, someone who coordinates, because if everybody just do their own thing, these enemies are not only higher tier, they have more health. They're much more aggressive.
Also, can we talk about
so
friendly fire?
I know the icon turns green when your friendly's in there, crosshairs.
You won't do damage to your friends with normal darts, things like that. However,
yeah, so when the friendly goes in your crosshairs, your reticle turns green. I did notice that.
Damage your friends. They won't take full damage, but you should be careful.
So everything that kind of does area of effect.
At least that's something, right?
Also kind of damage to your friends.
So things like poison, explosives, flame when delivered in an AoE, which is also flamethrower, and in a deployable like you showed me using the assault seeker beforehand. And CC effects like a suspensor grenade or reduction grenades are also applied in full. So you really need to manage where you deploy your AoE CCs to not hamper your allies.
Well, that's a cool sword effect.
I believe
I like that armor. It's almost like blue Atreides armor.
To receive the next, they will rearm and re-equip and be ready to rock and roll. And we'll do maybe some of the shot calling for them instead, because they're all very, very focused on the gameplay.
They also have.
Well, what the hell is that? Oh, it's a poison.
Abilities equipped, different weapons, which is interesting. These ones just switch between those different.
I love the camera work they're doing right here. Like we saw one player focusing an NPC, and then we immediately switched to his friend to focus on the same NPC. This is exactly the kind of coordination players will need.
See how their friend, a little green circle pops up if they're friendly.
Be obvious until you're actually playing these places. These NPCs are significantly stronger. They're faster.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're going to add anything like that or not.
However, some people might want to challenge themselves and come here by alone. Who knows? It's up to them.
Yeah. Maybe they're trying to make it where you have to like Tarkov, where you wear armband or something. You know, I love Tarkov.
Depending on how
they'll dash and they'll
or you all have orange armor or something, so you know who each other is. That'd be a good way to do it, right? You're all like orange or red armor.
When it comes to how friendly fire works. Friendly fire will still be valid.
You're gonna be able to customize colors of all your armor and weapons. So.
They affect guilds, basically.
Prior to this change, both guild mates and group mates were considered allies for the purposes of not taking damage.
Exactly.
This is one of my favorite. Like, I can tell that's a Swordmaster build because you saw the green effect, which is basically a passive of the Swordmaster archetype. If you kill someone, it will give you.
I'm going Mentat,
I think
guys.
The first level is 15% more damage.
I want to get that. I want to level level up and unlock
You see
that
the
Hunter
Bene
Seeker.
Gesserit, they stand apart because their effects are black or dark.
It's very distinct, so players can understand what's happening around them. It's good group play.
Man, I got 6 people watching me on Twitch. Hey, welcome to the channel, everyone. I'm doing this covering some of the replay of the combat footage Funcom did.
Right? It's wonderful.
Yeah, make sure to follow the channel. I'm trying to get into about 50 followers on
Resource management, a bit
Twitch.
of coordination, a little bit of healing.
What we saw there was
So
quick
waiting for the
looting.
next wave.
They looted them quickly. They didn't have to go
And
into
they
an
left.
inventory. You can go into an inventory and just pick the pieces you want, but that was quick looting where you just hit space.
I'll get there,
bar and
guys. I'll get
you
there.
them one by one.
I think that person's actually kind of.
I think I'm gonna have to start doing green screen and showing my face because I think you get more viewers
So
like that.
in the paradigm that we have, applying a healing kit will remove poison effects from the players.
When the gameplay starts coming out, I'm gonna probably have to do that.
Especially both in PvE and PvP, they have a use case. Not only will they force NPCs to move, because NPCs don't like to be in bad clouds of green stuff, it also forces players in PvP to actually make a choice between, do I want to stay here and suffer this small but eventually significant effect, or do I want to reposition and heal? There are many ways to use these, and players are, that's a very close.
Got 'em.
That was really nice there, though. Like, almost out of stamina. Like,
Nice.
Did we
that was
mention?
really
Dude.
nicely played, though.
Is that
think we
shoddy to
mentioned
the?
about enemies.
Oh,
Oh,
he's.
yeah, you
Is
saw
that a
one.
shoddy? Oh,
Enemies
disruptor.
They will revive,
They will
yeah.
actually sometimes.
Oh, that's
run away and you
Regis
wonder what they're
disruptor?
doing. They're doing the same thing the player is doing. They're actually
Yeah.
running away to heal so that they
heal.
can come back.
And they can, of course, also revive themselves. They
So
can get
Lucent
out of
Vengeance, that's
that
awesome.
somewhat out state
Exactly,
as well,
yeah.
like players can.
I love the floating light machine gun, the character build just now that we saw a second
Oh
ago.
yeah.
That's a throwback to the one.
The
that remember
turrets?
what's-
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's
Yeah, I
see
was
what
about
we
to
do
mention it
next.
earlier because we've seen it a few times now and we haven't actually commented on it,
Yeah.
which is.
Here we see it, the turret.
Oh, there's a
Yes.
turret, dude. Oh,
It's,
baby, that's Mentat.
Mentat ability,
I'm using
if
that.
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It's like actually one of the first Mentat abilities.
I'm going
And now we're in
Mentat.
Prescient state again. So
Dude, look at all of them.
Well,
Jesus.
let's see against. Let's see how well we do. A little bit of panic, a little bit of crossfire. The question is, will our team survive and succeed and receive
Nice.
the rewards?
Depends on the hardware, from what I understand.
nice one. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, brownie points. That was really nice.
Very good. Very good. I enjoy it.
Unscripted joke.
They're just so feisty over there. Funcom. They're fun people.
Scripted here, really, but that was really nice.
Here we go. 1, 2. Ooh. Through the shield. Shield broken. Almost broken.
He's gonna.
He's still focusing
Nice.
on. Okay, nice.
That's a.
Oh, damn, who's got the flamethrower?
Also,
And he's
we've
burning
seen.
some friends.
Also, we've seen a knife earlier,
You got him.
and now we actually see a sword in action.
See how it gets a little chaotic. It looks fun.
That Villa mentioned
The
before,
deep desert looks
the-
more fun.
The gameplay stylization. Swords are an area of control weapon. They're a little bit slower than daggers, but daggers allow you to quickly attack and also lunge. One of the things that we really want to focus on for our melee playstyles, which is not super evident right now, but soon TM will be, is that they are all distinct, have a gameplay role that players can choose to enjoy, and those gameplay roles will be meaningful and engaging, and they will have distinct counters and strengths and weaknesses.
I mean, I gotta say it again. I love melee. I'm like, it's my build. Like, I combine Swordmaster plus Bandit Gesserit skills, and I absolutely love it. Plus, I have a
Is
sniper.
that a friend right there?
Because I either want to be super.
Yeah, you
far
are right, it
away
does get
and kill
confusing
people
with
really
you don't
fast,
know who
or
your
do
friend
that.
is.
Like, that's kind of a playstyle. I love it too. And it
There we
works
just saw a
really well.
suspensive blast from the enemy there, which staggered our.
Damn, he's getting
our friend
ganged up
here.
on. Look at that. He's getting ganged up on.
Ooh, that's
Dude,
a
I
good
can see you
one.
getting pretty ganged
Yeah,
up.
you know, uh-huh. So here we see some special NPCs. These NPCs are configured to be different from the normal experience, wherein the actions and abilities that they can throw out.
You can't even
are
get a hit off.
Much more.
Oh, they're really wailing
That's
on
cool. That's
Oh.
There we
Legion
go.
right now.
That's a
Oh
friend
my
down.
god.
You guys have to work harder to survive. Let's go. No cheating.
Should have used that prescience.
Where was I? Right. Some
It
of these
drops
NPCs
some-
are
drops
configured
some,
quite differently to the normal
Powers.
experience outside of the deep desert.
Hmm.
They have abilities that players do. They are on a lower cooldown, and they are much more eager to use them against players.
Yeah.
Aggressive.
Very.
Let's call it aggressive. Yeah, they're very aggressive. Yes.
Ability use. Oh, they defeated the wave.
They
That's
did
fantastic.
actually. Yeah, they did defeat
And
them.
then we are waiting. Oh, and they're prepping as well with turrets and everything. Right.
Also getting
Let's
their
see
friend.
where the next wave comes in from. Oh, bubbles.
Man, those
Bubbles everywhere.
those bubbles are annoying.
Focus.
Be nice there. You can see all the abilities that specific NPC has.
Bombays, you'll start with troops as seems easiest to start with,
Before the next
and then
wave
we'll
triggers.
decide based on abilities, techniques I will
actually,
need.
was that the last
As they
wave?
said
I
in
was just
stream,
wondering
the
that. I was
cap
just about to also
max
say-
number of skill
Yeah, yeah,
points
yeah.
you can
Succeeded.
Because
get,
it's
so you will
actually-
not be able
because
to
they're
have
very
all
strong.
abilities from all trees. Yeah, that's true.
Good job.
Good job, team. It was
And
wonderful.
we can see here on the left, in the
Yeah.
lower left corner, that
That is
they're
true.
all grouped up. You see the names of them and everything. So
Right, yes.
good-
Dude, this
good
ended up
going,
being a
good-
long
good
stream,
going,
guys.
team.
I'm going 2 hours
Someone took one
already.
for the team.
I said it 1 hour, and I always do that.
Someone you have
I don't think
to have
Lumberdan or
as a
anybody's in here. Where's Lumberdan?
Yeah.
And now,
In
that's
Cato.
the moment where trust is tested in terms of who chooses who gets to lead.
Exactly.
Who knows?
Well, you have
Exactly.
a leader. You have a leader who hopefully like distributes loot fairly. But yeah, you nicely see there the group set. Actually, the group setup just changed.
Okay.
Oh, it's oof.
Who? The group setup is changing there behind the scenes. Okay, yeah. Nice.
It's one of those moments when friends decide not to be nice to each other.
Never
We're
say it
friends,
again.
won't be
Make sure
friends.
you know your friends. You have close friends. Was it
You know, we have a
keep your
Discord,
friends
so,
close- no, keep your enemies close. No, keep your friends close,
Bombays,
yeah.
I don't know if you're in. Are you in the Discord? Oh yeah, you're in the. Yeah, you're in the Discord. So is Fabulous
from the
Raptor, right?
Second perspective. Oof.
It's just, this is a single.
So, a 2-on-2
Fabulous
fight-
Raptor, are you in the Discord already?
2-on-2 player fight in a confined space is going to get messy. There's going to be colors on the screen. There's going to be effects going off. We will see if we can comment as best as we can to what's
I don't know if
happening.
you have Discord or
I
not.
feel like
yeah.
he's- Esports
There's someone
commentator,
dead there already.
like-
Oh, they took somebody down. That was very fast.
Is it two
No.
versus one now?
Stamina
Or
left.
is it? Yeah, 2 versus 1. Yeah. Oh, nice.
This is very nice.
Oh, someone went
And he
prescient.
managed to catch him.
Cheating! They're cheating.
No, I mean,
Oh, you're Parm.
I
You're
would
you're
call
a
it cheating. If someone
Parmigiani.
goes present and I can't,
You
it's
Italian?
obviously cheating. Someone
I
has like.
believe somebody got betrayed.
looks like it.
Oh, and there's another. Oh, there's a second
Ooh,
betrayal.
That was a Bene Gesserit skill on
yeah.
a friend.
That's
That's
funny.
like the ultimate betrayal. If you use a Bene Gesserit skill on your friend,
Yeah.
that is just the ultimate
The
betrayal.
question is, who is the better player?
This is an interesting fight.
This is very close.
Yeah.
It's very close.
Oh, it's
Someone
getting
out of
staggered.
stamina.
No, yeah. It's 1v1.
Oh.
Oh,
And then we
it's
saw the new whirlwind.
Yeah.
so tremendous though.
Sword is there.
Oh, you are.
Oh, the
That's funny.
count is back. Needs to be a little bit more ability.
My best- my best friend's,
management. Bank your stamina. and
Well,
deploy
he's
the
American, but his
Actually,
dad's
you
from.
don't see the stamina
Napoli.
on the other player. You can
Italian,
if
like-
you're prescient, which
No.
is actually really.
Italy.
I think that's.
Oh,
Never went to Italy, dude. I lived in Germany. I lived in Europe for 13 years and never went to Italy. You believe that?
One of the players is sitting right
It's
here.
embarrassing.
And he just went like, throw his head back, and his headphone just went flying. It's just like, well done, though, team. Well done.
I had the best pizza I ever had
It's
in
only one, yeah, exactly. It's
Amsterdam.
only one.
It was
But
an Italian,
make sure you have
pizza
close
place.
friends, before if you go into these type of
It's
collabs.
like these kind of situations is actually
situations.
one of the paradigms that we.
I cannot get good pizza
designed
here
the
where I
game
live.
around, which
It
is
sucks. It's hard to
making
find
friends and
good pizza.
enemies. We don't really care which is which, but if you're making friends, if you're making enemies, the game will sustain itself. I
Remember
think.
to belong the way.
Exactly.
I would care who are my friends. I was like, you don't care who is which, but it's yeah. But also, I like to backstab people. So there you go. Like in terms of friends and enemies and
That's
enemies.
great.
And, yeah, so.
I very much enjoyed that. I didn't expect a double backstab at all.
The double backstab.
Well,
Okay,
plans
no
within
pun
plans within
intended.
plans. You know, that's how it goes.
We
No
almost
pun
we
intended.
almost
Who
went
was
to
the
Italy instead of
instigator? I can Camille, by the way, behind the
Amsterdam
scenes.
on
I
our
think I
trip.
saw him play some mine or something.
He's denying it. I don't believe him. I don't believe him.
But we didn't
100%
go.
Sure.
We're gonna
I
go
know
next
it
time.
wasn't anyone else. My mind was Camille. Anyway, that was the combat section. Thank you so much, Vilja and Alex, for being here chatting and showing
guess that's
off
the end,
some
guys.
of the gameplay.
Let's see here. Well, guys, I'm gonna have to call that an evening because it is late where I am, and I need my rest. I've been not sleeping well because I've been staying up to do all this Dune stuff. Oh, so you're trying to move there? Are you like American or something originally, and then get a citizenship, Italy? Yeah, immigration stuff's a pain in the ass. I had to do that for my wife. I do all her paperwork for her. Not going that way, but going to the U.S. Yeah. Well, folks, I am going to have to end the stream. Getting pretty late for me. Oh yeah, they changed a lot of stuff now, right? Because of like used to have like basically dual citizenship automatically and all that kind of crap, and now, but then you have to do paperwork now to do it. Yeah, they kind of did that to themselves, and Europe has been cuckoo. Ever since they started letting all the refugees flood in, immigration's been tighter. But it's tighter it's weird. I don't want to get into it, but it's like harder for the actual, because I have my in-laws are over in Germany, but so I hear all of it. But it's like if you're a taxpayer citizen, it's harder for you to live, and then if you're like a refugee person, you just get everything handed to you. So it's a lot of people. That's what they're telling me. I don't know. My sister has to work two jobs. My sister-in-law is working 2 jobs just to make ends meet over there in Europe, and then the Germans are all mad because their taxpayer money is just getting given freely to people that don't really have a respect for the situation, I think, from what they're telling me. I don't know. That's just what people were telling me over there, but I don't know. It's weird. I know Italy has that new PM lady. She's like hard, right? She's like basically hardcore, isn't she? I know she's very popular, I think, over there. Wild. Well, guys, I gotta go. And tomorrow night, so everyone's tune in tomorrow night. 9, 10, 10-ish, 9:30-ish. Usually what time I go live, what I can. Yeah, so I won't be doing a morning stream probably, but I will be doing evening, my normal Saturday night. So I'm doing Friday, Saturdays now. So I've integrated that in pretty good. At least 2 hours I'm doing. The game comes out, it's probably longer, but the weekdays, we'll see how that goes. Weekdays will be random. I'm telling you right now. But the weekends are locked. They're locked in. But now it's locked in. You guys, I ought to show you this video real quick before we go. Here it is. Okay, I got it right here, guys. Oh, it's a classic. It's really old.
It's a very easy situation to operate. You just push the buttons in right here on the two sides. There are two little buttons. And all you do is push them in, and that will release it. And what right here, push the button in, that releases it. And then after you let go, it locks firmly in place. So really, you're all set. And this is tough.
It is?
Listen, give you an example. Say you have you have to get up on the wall, high ceiling, vault the ceiling. Hey, listen, just walk right up. And I tell you, it's very safe, it's durable, and
Carol,
it's lightweight.
You're scaring me.
So really, see,
Wow.
now it's locked in place, okay? So really, you say,
Oh, God, Harold, are you okay?
actually, I didn't have it locked. You have to lock it. Once you lock it, you're okay. But it is very safe to operate. So, continue to call for it.
All righty. Well, Harold, I hope you're okay. One thing...
Yeah, classic, dude. Now it's locked in place. I say that every day at work. Every day I say that. I just start ending every stream with a blooper like that. You know, one thing I go down the rabbit hole on is the people that like walk across the roads during like bicycle races and cause like massive wrecks. Like I hate these people. That's a big issue in Europe, I think. Here, before we go, let's show that. Let's see if we can. Find some. These people drive me nuts. Here's one like that. Caught on camera, brutal crash of fan runs. Yeah, so this is kind of one like that. This is the kind of thing like. Look at these people are idiots, dude. I think they do it on purpose. Boom! Look at that. Like, these people are so stupid. This is a common occurrence. Look at this, watch. They do it all the time. Boom. I can't stand it. There's multiple of those things you can watch all night. And that crap. Those people should be thrown in jail and throw away the key that do that. I don't know why it's a pet peeve of mine. No, this happens every time. There was that famous one in the Tour de France where she had the sign and she put the sign out in front of the riders, and like I think they actually prosecuted her, which is good. Maybe I can find it real quick. This is like my thing. Another one that bugs me too is not really, it's the people that get up on the plane and they call them butt buddies. They get up the butt their way out of the plane. They this instant, right when they're playing, they just grab their stuff and get in line and cut in front of everyone. That's a phenomenon as well. Maybe this is it. Yeah, this is it right here. I found it, guys.
Out a sign.
I found it. This lady got I think this lady got prosecuted.
Out a sign.
Watch.
And down goes Tony
Boom.
Martin. Oh, Tony Martin, you hate to see this, you know, and I don't
saw
know
that?
what I think of
I
this.
can't
I'm
stand
at
these
the,
people.
take
They
a day
should
to
go all go to
process
jail
what I think
forever.
of the spectators on the
Look.
side of the road. But yeah, unfortunately, Tony Martin, and it was just a domino effect. When the riders are that nervous, you're smacked in there like sardines, and there's nowhere to go. So if you're sitting anywhere behind Tony Martin and to his left, most likely you're going to go down. You really don't have a chance.
Road is super narrow. You see his crash there, and the domino effect just spreads it all the way across and closes this road down. So the guys in the back, along with the ditch on the right and left side of the road, there's no place to go. You just have to go right into the pile. You're either going to be held up, or worse, you're going to crash, and the bike certain parts are going to be breaking all over the place.
Looking out a sign.
Watch.
And down goes
Ooh,
Tony
that's a
Martin.
famous one. Dude, that is a famous one. Yeah, there's people. I think that lady actually got prosecuted on that one. Yeah. So I know this is not Dune related, but that thing drives me nuts. Those bicycle saboteurs, that bicycle race saboteur. All right, folks. Until tomorrow night, we will see you again. I'll find more videos like that to show. We'll go over some of that. All right, I will see you later.
Ancient power in your hands. Rivers dry where prophecies flow. In the darkness, let my courage show. In the desert, nowhere to hide. Beneath twin suns, the desert roars, a land of spice and ancient lore. Fremen whispers in the night, dreams of freedom take their flight. I who lurk beneath the sand, power shifts at your command. Golden eyes see futures bright. In the dunes we rise and fight. Ride the worm, hold on tight. Through the storm to the light. Call the banners of the brave. In the dunes we rise and fight. Harkonnen's grip begins to fade. In shadows deep our plans are laid. Prophecies in blood are sealed. In the dunes our fate revealed. Bene Gesserit weave their schemes. History echoes in our dreams. Houses rise and empires fall.